In the words of the great J. Bruce, oh, hey, hi, hello, we are here playing some Vampire the Masquerade. We are going to be missing a Dimitri for the first portion, but it's okay because he is a little preoccupied with a wonderful, wonderful Toreador, which we will get back to in our little bit of a recap here shortly. But we're going to go around the room, introduce who we're playing as, and what do you guys think about the grand opening so far and some of the moves that are happening off and on the court? We'll go ahead and start with Eva.
Hannah, and I'm playing Eva, part of the Bruja clan, and Eva could care less about this party going on. I mean, sure, it's great that we're doing a grand opening of our place, and she's proud of that, but other than that, all these people, they're just, they just tick her off, and she can't let that happen. So, trying to keep it low.
That is very fair and very Bruja of you. Next up, we have Warren.
Warren, I am playing Carter. Carter likes long books, sketchy moral research subject, and low-key murdering people. As far as the party goes, I think Carter's having a pretty good time. He removed the problem that was Drake, thinking he's done everybody a very large favor, and the prince is totally just giving him license to do all the experiments he wants. So it's gonna be fun.
Wonderful. And last but not least, Richard.
Hi, I'm Richard, and I'm playing Matthew, the La Sombra. And Matthew is just trying to keep up. This is like his third night in the company of this coterie, and so far we've invaded a municipal building in downtown Indy, and now we're having a party, and the Anarch Baron is next to my chair over here, wearing a leash, and yeah, it's all kind of awkward.
I think awkward is a solid way to describe the situation here. As you guys did have some preparation that did take place. Warren, you did make a quick pit stop at the hospital for a wonderful 6 bags of blood, but only to be used as emergency, just in case someone decides to get a little hungry during the course of this evening. Um, and you did meet up with your touchstone and had a brief conversation and found out that she's possibly going up for a couple of different um,
A couple different jobs, including that she might be in charge of the blood bank, which sounds incredibly convenient for us.
That's exactly what I spoke, translated it into Tremere. So I do appreciate it.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for staying so in character.
I really am trying to improve on that. But as you got back, you guys got the rest of the place put together and ready as Eva found a DJ. Pretty easy enough to do on a Wednesday. And you guys began to get prepped with getting dressed and getting into position, stuff like that. And almost right at midnight, when you guys were opening, people began to start coming into the Grove. You start seeing multiple people that you have seen before between the Prince and all of the Primogen, as well as a couple of individuals you haven't seen before. Two of which you did find out their names were Haley and can't remember the last one off the top of my head.
I think Bella.
Belle, thank you. And they seem to be twins, and they were sort of talking while dancing with you for a bit, and just said, if you're interested in becoming something maybe a little bit more than what you currently are, that they have crafted the prince into what he's become. as you sort of mentioned earlier, Carter, you did have a conversation with the prince, um, and to begin, your thin blood testing and really trying to figure out how these thin bloods work and operate and how we can use them to our advantage. He gave you the green light that if some thin bloods go missing, oh no. Um, and even some, if absolutely necessary, uh, if anyone else gets in your way, like a sire of some kind, they are to be dealt with as long as you guys don't make a habit of it. And an interesting deal was struck up with Baron Joshua and Matthew. It was announced that there was a blood hunt that was starting this night as well for an Angela Wyatt. Matthew took his opportunity to go take the leash that Baron Joshua was so happy to be attached to, and is sort of sitting off on the side. And Matt decided that if we can get Angela Wyatt out of the hunting area, will you give me a boon, a way of a favor, if you will? And he thought about it for a little bit, and then finally said yes. And he said that he would even do one better, that if he broke him out of the grasp of the prince, that he would give not one but two favors to Matthew for this. While all this is going on, the coterie began to sort of head back to their respective portions of the grove when Dimitri walks up from having a meeting with Augustin off at his personal office. When he walks out and starts dancing with Nessa, as Nessa stares straight into Dimitri's eyes, and Dimitri seems to give a more relaxed tone as he begins to stare deeply into Nessa's eyes and falls under a deep entrancement for the next several hours, to say the least. What could possibly go wrong? But that is where we're going to be picking up, is that exact moment. You guys still have about 2 hours left before this event is closed down, as you guys did have it from 12 to 3 going. So you guys are sitting about 1 a.m. Music still absolutely just bumping through. Do you see absolutely no sort of security from your guys' haven, which is how it's supposed to be? Both of the marked security guards are supposed to be on the exterior, make sure that no one gets into this, as this is a private event. An NDA was signed by our great DJ, DJ Fat Spins, to make sure that what you see does not leave this room. But we are picking back up. It is not like Nessa's trying to hide the fact that her and Dimitri are having this moment while dancing. So anyone who's keeping an active watch over the dance floor, as it's not very crowded, there's maybe, including yourselves, about 13 kindred that are in this area. So it's not very full. You can definitely see everyone as long as you're being half, at least somewhat perceptive. And they're sort of just dancing and just having just talking back and forth. But definitely unable to hear what they're saying just because of how loud the music is. As quickly as Dimitri came onto the dance floor and started dancing, you could see Nessa sort of walk away as the 1800 ballad that was currently playing through Dimitri's request begins to soften up, and then more like classic club music begins to take over. As Nessa, you see her begin to lead Dimitri away from the scene. And he has a big smile on his face as he's just sort of walking hand in hand with Nessa
I mean, when does he not have a big smile on his face? Really?
The coterie probably only seen one time, and that's shortly after his brother was killed. So,
Yeah.
but it's you guys have seen this sort of level of excitement before, and it was shortly after the explosions that happened that caused this whole mess. So the amount of excitement that he had that was exuding from either coming up with a plan and watching it all happen uh, almost rivals the part where he was just absolutely just ecstatic to see how the prince has chose to give Baron Joshua his punishment. As he sort of begins to walk away and goes into what you guys know as the personal offices that each one of you guys have at this location.
Can I get like an occult roll or something to figure out what just happened?
You can't. I will allow, since you do have one of the only ways to be able to tell that this sort of thing took place. I believe it is wits plus insight. Let me check real quick. No one else has sense of the unseen. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Or at least I don't.
Yeah, so it's either wits aspect or resolve aspects is the normal dice pools anyway.
Let me see real quick. Sorry, we're seeing presence powers. They show up a little bit different.
Totally makes sense. Also, we left out the most important part of the summary.
Oh.
The prince booped me on my nose.
Oh, you're right. The great boopening of 2023. That definitely occurred.
Carter is very confused by that, and he's going to be unpacking that for a long time.
That's at least the next 50 years of your life is trying to figure out what the boop meant.
Like, was he high on something? Was he hitting on me? I mean, like, I could work with either of those two things. Both of those could be swung to my advantage. What was it?
Go ahead and roll wits plus aspects for me, or wits plus insight, whichever is better for you.
Every couple of nights, Carter is just staring at a book and looks up and goes, "But why a boop?" And then goes back to reading.
Right. Weirdly enough, the book he keeps reading is from every single one of the prince's library, so he's just sort of like subconsciously just writing like, why this? Why is this connection what's happening?
Why this? I got 2.
All right, and did you roll wits plus aspects or wits plus
What's an insight?
insight? Okay. As you're sort of watching this interaction take place, I mean, he already was in a very, like, as soon as he came out, he had a very big grin on his face already, even before locking eyes with Nessa. And, you know, he clapped and put the music on specifically for her, as it was changed from it more into an 1800s, where it has been rumored that she was from. So everything sort of lines up like almost something that Dimitri had planned. And you don't notice any sort of powers take place.
He's just having a good time at the party. Check.
Exactly. Also, if you guys haven't already, if you guys use any sort of willpower, superficial willpower, you guys do get that back at the start of tonight. So if you guys used any, I don't think anyone did, but just make sure. Then, sorry, I meant to do this housekeeping prior hand, so I do apologize to you as well to chat. Your blood potency is still increased by 1. Because it's still for the scene, which you did as soon as you sort of got ready for here. I believe you increased your blood potency by 1.
I did, yep.
Okay, cool. So that is still active because it's still the same scene.
Cool. All right.
I know last week as well, Matthew, as you sort of were prepping for this, you wanted to also bring out something to the uh, group of individuals who the drivers of the kindred that came tonight. Did you want to go ahead and grab something from the bar and head out that way?
Absolutely.
Okay,
We'll grab a bottle of we'll go with sparkling wine. We won't go with actual champagne. These
of
are just
course.
chauffeurs. Um, but I will take an extra pack of smokes with me
Mhm.
and go out, find wherever they may be congregating.
All right, and I do have a single question for you. Do
Yep.
you hand Baron Joshua off anywhere or tie him up, or do you leave him as is?
Uh, nah, I'm gonna hand him off to somebody.
Okay. You did know that Jordan handed him off to you, as you did
Mhm.
offer. Did you want to find, and you would know that Jordan is the prince's assistant. Do you want to find Jordan, or do you want to give it back
Is
to the prince?
is Jordan still dancing?
She's sort of coming off of dancing with one of the people you haven't met yet. Someone about 6 foot, um, tan complexion, wearing a lot of like very nice but old, what looks like sort of midwestern attire. Very sort of like old cowboy attire look that she sort of bows to and then begins to head off to like the side.
Then I will lead Baron Joshua over there and move on an intercept course and go. If your dance is done, so is my dog sitting.
She bows to you with a very big smile. And she sort of shakes a little bit and thanks as she grabs the leash.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm still new to this aid thing, and a lot of it still is taking a little bit to get used to.
Everything's a learning experience, right?
That's what they say. That's what they say.
All right, well, you take care. Uh, hi, I'm what is my name? Oh yeah, hi, I'm Matthew.
Uh,
He says to the cowboy.
Name's Tanner. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Tanner. Well, you guys enjoy. Uh, if you need anything, let someone else know. I'm very new here.
They both sort of look at each other and sort of smile. Good. Duly noted. Duly noted. And they sort of plop down at one of the larger booths that sort of accompany around the dance floor.
And then yeah, sparkling wine, box of cigarettes, and a whole bunch of those plastic fluted glasses.
Oh yes. You go ahead and head out to the. Um, you head outside and go towards the parking where everyone sort of parked off to. And when you guys have the grand opening, you guys do have a parking lane that's sort of available for all these vehicles to stop into to drop the VIPs off. And you sort of see them all hang out on like near the hood of the front vehicle. Um, as you sort of look, you do see uh, the Dimitri's head of security sort of look past you, give you a nod, and sort of keeps an eye on everything. Um, but he doesn't say anything. He stands his post, and you walk towards, and almost like all the conversation ceases as soon as you sort of walk up with the glasses and drink.
Gentle beings, gentle beings. I don't want to presume anybody's current uh, current state of existence or gender. So I just wanted to, and he starts passing out glasses. I just wanted to come out and thank you on behalf of the club for getting everybody here tonight, for whatever you're going to do to get everybody home safe. That's why you only get one of these. But, and pop it open and start filling glasses.
Mm-hmm.
If uh, heaven forfend, uh, you discover that you need some help at some point. He goes into his jacket, pulls out some of his business cards. Uh, as it happens, I'm a lawyer, and even better, I'm a cheap one. And he was going to hand out the cards. Uh, if anyone tries to go, no, 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 then they get a, oh, please, for me, take my card and put it in your pocket with compel.
Um, two of the individuals sort of like put their hand up and then slowly begin to take it and put it in their pocket, not even looking at it, while everyone else who takes it is like looking at the card and everything. It's like, oh, cool.
Yep.
And they go ahead and tuck it in their jackets.
And once everybody's got drinks and contact information and I've introduced myself, I'm going to encourage chatter. I'm going to join in the small talk, talking about how, well, I'm brand new here. I don't know any of these people. I mean, did you guys have to drive a long way? I know I had to drive for hours, he said, never having driven a mile since his embrace.
Yeah, and a lot of the conversation is back and forth. Mostly they talk about driving from Indianapolis, which is about an hour drive from where they are to here. One of the elder individuals, and most of them are younger individuals. And that being said, all of them are wearing you can see it's not very concealed well, but they are wearing a concealed firearm. But all of them are what look like maybe mid-30s or lower. But one looks like he's probably somewhere in his like upper 50s, lower 60s. And smiles. I've driven many, 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 many miles on different continents all over the world, but this club is something special.
Well, that's what the owners keep telling me. Maybe by the end of the night I'll believe it.
Well, take it from someone who's seen Prague. It's beautiful.
I hear good things now that it's no longer Czechoslovakia. That's how it was pronounced, right? Czechoslovakia. I don't know.
Yes, that's how it is. And it was honestly a lot better before certain individuals of a corporation decided to come in and put their foot down in places where it didn't belong. But
Ooh.
that is neither here nor there.
Nonsense. We are neither here nor there, and I love a good angry screed against corporate misers.
He sort of smiles and nods. He's like, maybe a different time and place where I have more of these, and he sort of raises up his glass and sort of puts it back down.
Fair enough. I appreciate and admire your discretion.
But I want to speak on behalf of all of us. We do appreciate you coming out. It's not that we're also assuming anyone's existence or lack thereof. But it's not often that we get interact with outside of our own group.
Just between us, I'm not sure I'm a part of that group yet. They let me in, but I think it's because I'm the lawyer.
A couple of them begin to chuckle a little bit as they finish off their glasses.
One of the things, you go to law school and they tell you, oh, well, now you have a profession and you have a Juris Doctor and you're going to do this, you're going to do that. The truth is, when you meet people with money, you're just the help.
And it begins sort of round up, yeah, just sort of the help. They sort of, not necessarily like form like a ride or anything, but you can definitely sort of tell that they bolster behind what you said.
Yep. And, yeah, we'll hang out and bitch about our bosses until I have some idea of whether these guys are full time or whether they've been hired for tonight, or is there a system by which they get these jobs? How does this work?
Yeah.
How do vampires catch rides in Indy?
While this conversation is going on the inside of the club, Eva or Carter, anything you guys would like to do to progress any sort of own self goals that you guys may or may not have?
Eva, what you got?
My connections. So if it's me,
Ooh.
I'm going. I might want to go first because I think I need to connect. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, let's go ahead and have Carter head
No
it up while Eva's fixing internet.
Well, so I don't know many people, right? I mean, Dimitri's disappeared off
Yep.
with Nessa with a
Mhm.
big smile on his face, so good for him. um, the princess booped me, and I don't really want to push that button. Um, oh, you know what? Do I see Bart around?
You know, Bart is in fact having a good time dancing by himself, just sort of doing sort of this like awkward shuffle with his shoulders. Like he's probably never been to any sort of club or anything in his life, but he's just sort of living his best life that he can.
I will join Bart doing the awkward shuffle,
Yes.
and I will try to start like just a cool nerd kid dance party around Bart.
um, Go ahead and roll four, just regular dice, no hunger included.
Just 4 dice.
Yep.
Two.
Two. As you guys are sort of just dancing, just doing your own thing, um, out of that sort of out of the corner of your eye, you could sort of see the prince walk his way over awkwardly and start also doing the same dance, but he's like awkwardly getting like trying to like overanalyze this dance, like how it actually works, um, as he's like almost like 4 steps behind, but he's just trying so hard to interact. Um, and seeing the prince sort of get into it, um, the rest of the room begins to sort of follow behind the prince's shadow almost, and just continues this awkward where there's just Bart and Carter, then the Prince, and then everyone else sort of just follows through where everyone is sort of doing this weird like shuffle dance to this just absolute loud crazy music that's going on.
How was Bart handling this?
Uh Bart believing fully that he's the one that truly started this trend.
As he is.
Just has the biggest smile on his face. But it's sort of hard to see the smile because his jaw is just so far agape that it just looks like he's just. But his eyes are real big and wide, and he's just having just the grandest time. Hey,
All right.
you know this is probably the most that I've danced in about 50 years, Carter.
Oh, I can't tell. I mean, you're amazing. Look at what you started.
He looks around. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Sheriff of Indianapolis coming through. And just having the greatest time.
Oh, I like Bart.
Um, as the the night goes on, um, you guys continue to have this very interesting uh, dance for the next probably about 3 or 4 minutes while it finishes wrapping out the song. Um, but you guys are begin to see um, Nessa come back out and sort of looking around, almost with like a sense of disgust at what she's witnessing, uh, of whatever these people are called, like calling dancing. You could just see the almost looks like what most people act when they see a Nosferatu. Just the absolute appall of what is taking place. Eva, welcome back. I hope your connection is a little bit better
I'm on my phone for now.
for now. Um, so, as while you were in the process of fixing your internet, you were able to see um, Bart sort of doing this awkward like shuffle thing by himself and having just the greatest time. Where Carter sort of walked over and joined in, and then the prince also followed suit, and then sort of like the rest of the room began to do this awkward like shuffle dancing. Um, is there anything while this is all taking place that you would like to do, whether to either join in with the awkward shuffle dancing, staying off to the side with like sort of like Jordan and Tanner are doing, or is there anyone you'd like to have a conversation with?
Are Haley and Belle still sitting in the same spot,
They
or did
are
they join the shuffle?
they're still off by themselves, but they are shuffling. Uh, but they're off
Oh.
all over like their little clique, sort of shuffling to themselves.
I'm gonna go over by them.
Okay. You go ahead and walk over, and they both sort of see you walking over, and they sort of like Belle sort of like throws a rope against like while she's dancing, like pull you in, while the other one just sort of like throws like a fishing line and begins to like reel you in. Very old, like cheesy dance moves, but they're absolutely just loving it as you are just sort of beginning to walk towards uh, the two of them, sort of whatever they're doing.
I'll do the weird cheesy dance too.
Yes.
Love it.
The both of them look over. Did you already sort of think about our offer?
I have thought about it. My question is, what's the price on it? What's it gonna cost me?
Maybe you're not as green as everyone believes that you truly are. Um, it depends on the level of work that you need done. You see, there aren't very many of us who can do what we can do, so it can be a little bit expensive.
Okay, what exactly is that you do?
We shape,
Because you
we
told me
mold.
about the prince helping him out, but into what you want, into what the politics are, what?
It depends on typically whatever the person who is paying us wants. Um, obviously, we may put our 2 cents in, but overall, it is what you want. You want to be a little bit taller? You want to be a little shorter? You want to be have different
Oh,
eyes? Face look a little different?
so it
We
even
can make
goes that route.
yes, we quite literally, he sort of points over to the prince, have shaped him into what he has become.
Okay, I guess I was more thinking that it was about teaching how the clans worked all together
Ah,
and everything that. I mean, I'm sure it's both, maybe.
we can definitely do either one or both. If you're wanting for more of our knowledge, then that I will admit is quite and Bell sort of speaks up limited, as we aren't quite from uh, the Ivory Tower like most of you are. We're more of advisors that the princess had for quite a while. It likes to keep us, I think, as they say, off the books.
Why?
Not many people enjoy our clan around and what we've been known to do, and people are afraid of what we can and will do if you get on our wrong side.
I don't know what the protocol is for this, but can I ask what clan you're from?
Ah. A lot of them called us the fiends, the dragons, the old clan. But I believe that young neonates now call us the Zemitzi.
I don't really know what that means, but I'm sure somebody does that I could ask if you don't want to tell me what exactly your clan does or did
I mean, we
or is known for.
are not afraid to tell. We can, sort of similar to other clans in your tower, we can deal with animals, dealing with people's emotions, understanding and seeing things that may not be there, but also change people and how they look, how they act. We like to create.
And it's your little gig.
Yes, and he has turned out quite well. And now, as you sort of are having this continued conversation with them, they are both wearing um, a necklace, and at the end of the necklace, you can sort of see what looks like a dragon that sort of circles around and is eating its own tail. So, but if you wouldn't mind keeping our lineage to yourself, it can oftentimes freak out other kindred if they know who we belong to. I hope you understand.
Yeah, I won't say anything. I'm still gonna keep it in mind all that you can and offered. But
Indeed, and that molding and teaching can definitely be something you can share, because we are more than welcome to share what knowledge we do have. But our background, not so much, but since you so bluntly asked, we figured it'd be okay.
all right, well, hopefully you don't mind me asking more questions later on. If I think of them.
We look forward to it. You guys continue continue going forward and having this awkward dance that goes for almost feels like an eternity before you guys see sort of Sheldon sit down next to the prince as he sort of pulled him over and begins to have a conversation with him. And mid conversation, Sheldon sort of stops and goes wide eye and just sort of stares off into nothing. Carter, you recognize what probably is happening currently to Sheldon.
Oh, and what's that?
Probably is having some sort of premonition
Oh, okay.
that's currently going on. He's just sort of sitting down and just wide eyes, sort of staring at a wall, not talking, just sort of staring. And you can sort of see the prince sort of looking at him real weird and looking around, going back, and it's just waiting. But you sort of see the looks on the prince's face. He's not looking around and trying to like make eye contact, but you almost expect like he's become used to this sort of reaction.
I will go over there and try to make sure Sheldon is comfortable.
As he goes over, the prince sort of speaks up. I don't mean to be rude, but we are discussing Primogen business. Is there anything I can help you with, Carter?
My apologies. No, I just wanted to make sure Sheldon was okay.
I appreciate your concern, but if I've known Sheldon for a couple years now, and this seems to be a norm whenever he has his moments.
Then if you'll excuse me.
Of course. And he goes back and sits back down. And the prince sits down, and Sheldon begins to come to, and Sheldon sort of continues to have a conversation with the prince as the prince sort of begins to scratch the back of his neck and like talk what you would assume probably would be loud if the music wasn't still overbearing over on the conversation. His hands are like going up wide and like making a very big scene that everyone else on the dance floor is trying very noticeably try to ignore what may be going on with the conversation.
Interesting.
As the song transitions from one into a different one, everyone sort of stops doing the dance that they were following Bart's lead on and begins to go back into a more traditional club scene. Everyone roll that's inside wits and awareness for me. Matt, as this conversation is taking place and stuff is going on, you begin to find out through the small talk that all these individuals are have been hired by their representatives for a long time. Even though what they've sort of hinted at makes them believe that they've probably been in their job for longer than they look to be even alive. The only one that looks like it truly matches up is the elderly individual for how long he has worked compared to his age.
And if I can find out who is the old man driving for?
That would be Nessa, is the one that he is driving for.
Okay.
As you guys sort of continue to mingle them out and excuse me inside, is there any other conversation that you would like to have, Matthew, with these drivers?
No, I think I've established my bona fides, and hopefully, when one of them has a body thrown in the back of the car to deal with, they'll call their lawyer, and I will go back in. And as I take a look around, I'm going to start looking for Eva.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll wits plus awareness for me, please, as well.
Sure.
Let's see, Carter with 2 hits. Then we have Eva with 2 hits. Look at you guys. And Matthew with 2 hits. Perfect. Um, as you all sort of head in and sort of are looking around, one person is not there. Everyone, all the guests are there, but one person has not been in there for quite some time. Dimitri has not come back since Nessa and him sort of departed right before Matthew also left.
Okay, that's not good.
About how long was that?
Roughly about like going on 10 minutes at this point. Dimitri just has not been back. And that is about equal to about the time that you've been outside as well, Matthew. About 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go by Carter and ask him, have you seen Dimitri?
He went back with Nessa. At that point, Carter realizes he's not here. We should probably go find him.
Do you want to stay here and I go look downstairs? Do you think they went down?
Maybe. My door should be locked. You don't need to go in there though. We can talk about that later.
If I might interject, I'm pretty sure I saw them headed that direct. They headed in that direction, and two went out and one came back.
So Dimitri and Nessa went out and only one came back?
Yeah, well, they were making really big googly eyes at each other.
But only one made it back.
But only one made it back. Always a good sign.
Ever a good sign.
I don't know where the always good sign comes from, but maybe in your category.
Blind optimism. No one even knows who I am yet. Do you want me to go look, or you want to come with, or?
I think we should. I kind of want to split up and look in different places at first.
All right, I'll stay here and watch the guests, and you two split up then. This feels like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Let's go, gang. So you guys, and I'm assuming you guys were having this conversation, like trying to hide the fact. Are you guys being like out in the open that you guys are having this conversation while sort of looking around, or trying to like dance while having this conversation? Like,
definitely dancing, trying to keep it cash. Like we're talking about, drinks and parties and.
Of course. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I went over trying to be discreet as possible.
All right. So Carter is sticking around and watching the upstairs. There is 2 other places that they could go. They could go to the VIP section, which is sort of like up above where you guys are currently at. Or you guys could go downstairs where the getaway is, as well as where the library and some of the other more add-ons that make this place a haven are more kept at.
So Matthew, how about you check upstairs and I'll go down?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just do I need a key or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's locked during the party.
Okay. As you guys are sort of beginning to head away, are you guys just going to walk your separate ways and head there? Are you guys use any sort of disciplines or?
I will be tossing on my shadow cloak,
okay.
Which you can't hardly tell in a darkened club, but.
Absolutely not. especially with all the lights turned down and the strobe effects that are currently going on. Definitely would be difficult to tell. What is that roll? Just in case I get some crazy, if there is one.
It's just two. All it does is 2 extra dice to my stealth and intimidation rolls.
Cool, perfect. Just wanted to make sure.
And you know what? I think it is time to make a rouse check. I feel like prowess is going to be one of those things that I probably won't need, but I'm going to be very sad if I did.
Right, exactly.
Let's make a rouse check.
Do it. Success. You do not get hungrier.
But I do get stronger.
Yes, you do. As you sort of begin to rouse the blood to sort of the muscles begin, you can feel sort of tighten around the clothes that you have, and you begin to head upstairs towards the VIP section. Eva, what about you? Any sort of disciplines you want to use, or just want to head off that way?
I'm just gonna head off that way, and if I need to, when I get down there, I might go invisible, but I'm not gonna do anything right now.
Okay. You go ahead and head downstairs, and then take the, as you sort of walk through the door that heads towards like the security office. You head past the security office and head towards the downstairs basement where your guys' haven is located. Do you want to activate anything as soon as you become out of line of sight from everyone, or just want to play it by ear for now?
I'll wait.
Okay. You go ahead and open the door. And right off the bat, you can definitely see something took place down here. So there looks like there was just some mess that was put up all around. Things are look like they were out of shape. Look like stuff was tossed out or tossed around. Definitely,
Is
it's
this
putting something off.
in a specific room or just in the hallway area?
Just in the hallway area.
Okay.
If you want to be stealthy in any sort of way, not necessarily use any sort of disciplines, but go ahead and roll Dex plus Stealth for me as well. That goes for you as well, going into the VIP if you would like to, Matthew. Oh, that is 4 successes on a messy critical. And that is 1 success. Are you happy with the 1 success there, Matthew, or did you want to use a willpower?
I think I'm going to use a willpower.
Okay. Eva, did you want to use a willpower to re-roll any of your or any of your dice? You can even roll the 10 if you want to try not to get a messy critical. Or if you're fine with your messy critical, that's fine as well.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. Messy critical. That's gonna be fun.
And that will come out to 3 successes on my stealth.
Wonderful. All right. Eva, it almost feels like an out-of-body experience for you as you stop using your normal like human senses, and almost like the beast takes over. You begin to smell for like blood, begin to try to sense anything picking up, and you hear something off in the library. The door looks like it's been kicked open. The door is still on its hinges, but you can see a giant foot like shape in the door. And you begin to hear, as you get closer, this sound of just something shredding. It's almost like something is being torn apart on the inside. You do gain 1 hunger. As you begin to hear your beast uptick a little bit. We don't know what that is, but if I were you, I would strike before it strikes you. Who knows? It might not know you're here.
I'd be going full beast mode based on the sound coming out of that door.
I am going to somewhat listen to it, but not fast. I'm gonna still stealth, like do stealth.
Okay.
And walk over to the door area.
Yeah. Even with your 4 on stealth, you sort of head over there and listen. As you get close, you begin to hear what was the sound of like fabric tearing, and now you can hear the sound of flesh begin to tear as well.
I will use I'll do unseen passage.
Okay, go ahead and roll a rouse check as you fade from existence. And you succeed. What a baller. You go ahead and turn invisible.
I'm gonna walk into the room.
Okay, and still being sneaky as well, I'm assuming.
Correct.
As you are being stealthy, you can see Dimitri, both arms up to his sleeves are rolled up, but both arms are chest first into Drake.
Ew.
I am going to leave the room.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let him do his thing.
All right. As you sort of walk slowly back out of the room, you just hear, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" Almost repeating back and forth, like on a loop.
And I don't see Nessa anywhere downstairs, I'm assuming.
No, you actually saw her upstairs.
Oh, yeah, right.
As everyone sort of got back into dancing.
I forgot. I'm gonna just wait in the hallway area for him.
Okay.
But I still want to stay invisible just for now.
Okay. As you eventually hear it stop, and you can see him sort of walk out and sort of licking his fingers, getting the blood off of it.
Where is he heading to?
He's currently in the process of shutting the library door and trying to he steps back a little bit, looks at the door, no, this is how it was, right? And sort of eyeballing it, even though there's a giant freaking hole in the front of it that looks like it was kicked in. But he stops and listens for a moment.
I'm just gonna say, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing?
Do you show yourself or you just stay invisible still?
Staying invisible.
He instantly starts taking a swing in the general direction of where you are. And you can see his eyes are now just a vibrant red. And he just takes a swing, very wide and missing, but he takes a swing and just keeps looking around without saying a word.
I'm just gonna keep stepping back and
Actively looking for you.
I'm gonna run back upstairs.
Okay. As you
But I'm
begin,
not gonna use blink.
as you begin to run back upstairs while invisible, uh, even though you are invisible and able to move, your shoes still make noise as you're clattering up the stairs, and you can hear the sound of not two footfalls, but it sounds like there's four, as something is coming up behind you very, very quickly.
Is there a door at the top of
There is
the
indeed a
stairs?
door. It has
Well,
a
that's gonna stop him.
right. It does have a lock on it that you guys have used before to keep the guests out.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly try to beat him to the door and shut it and lock it.
Um, as you do have a head start, but he is a very, very fast.
But for this one, I'll use blink just because I don't wanna.
Don't want to risk it.
Exactly.
Okay. Does blink require a rouse check?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll it. Oh, with a fail, I believe that puts you at hunger 3 now as you blink, and you can just feel like the anger boiling up inside of you. As you blink on the other side of this door and slam it shut. You can hear the footfalls continue up the stairs, and then just start beating on the door. Whatever this door is made out of is more resistant than you were expecting it to be. But nonetheless, you can hear the beating on the door. You are still invisible, but you are at the top of the stairs now.
Okay. I'm going to reveal myself, so stop using unseen passage, and then just casually walk over to Carter.
Okay, Carter. While all this is going on, is there anything you want to do besides just looking at wits and like just regular watching, keeping guard, like keep an eye out while all this is going on? This is shortly after Eva is just as you can see her walking towards that hallway.
Oh, I definitely think this would prompt me to do a manual sense the unseen.
Okay, go ahead and roll wits plus aspects for me. And Matt, you are at this time beginning to head up. You just activate your prowess and begin to head up towards the VIP section. And when you get up into the VIP section, you go ahead and look around. I mean, there's a couple of different rooms that these VIPs can go into, but all the curtains and everything are wide open. Even the door that was heading up to this VIP section was closed, like no one's been into it, but it is not locked. Is there anything you would like to do once you get inside of the VIP section room?
Is there a bar on this level?
Let me double check because I actually just got the description from Dimitri. Yes, there is a separate bar that's up in the VIP suite section.
Okay, because I don't have sense the unseen or any uncanny senses, but what I do have is access to a bar, and so I'm gonna go grab their bucket of margarita salt.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna take a lap around the room with the salt bucket open. I'm just gonna throw little handfuls on each of the chairs.
Okay. Go ahead and roll wits plus awareness for me, please, as you're sort of chucking these salts. Carter, you got 3 successes. Are you happy with your 3 successes?
I feel like I should probably re-roll a couple.
Sure. You can use 1 willpower to re-roll those 2. Ooh. Nice. Oh,
Boom.
there we go. That is a total of
Clutch reroll.
5 successes for you. And then 3 on the wits and awareness for Matthew. Carter, as you're looking around, next to both of the next to Bart, you see 2 individuals that are sort of flanking him on both sides. You see them sort of nodding their head to the music, look very bored out of their mind. But you recognize both these individuals as the Scourge.
Okay. So that doesn't cause me alarm, right?
No, I mean, you haven't seen them the entire time they've been here. The last time you saw them was when they were, dishing out punishments for what you guys did. But I mean, they are like the foot soldiers of the sheriff, so it might be that they are here for protection detail or something like that. But you're just sort of seeing they're bouncing around. They absolutely don't believe anyone's seen them yet, as it's been an hour and a half. If anyone was going to make a comment about it, they would have already said something. So they're just sort of staying invisible, sort of off to the side.
Well, I will dance over mimicking their dance moves.
You go ahead and make the dance moves, and they sort of, you can see, sort of look at each other, and they stop dancing and stop swaying and sort of get, not necessarily in a defensive position, but look more business mental.
Oh, come on, guys. Don't stop now. Dance like nobody's watching.
They sort of look to each other and roll their eyes as they both begin to and go, and they start dancing as if they were always there on the dance floor, and then it just pop into his existence out of nowhere.
So serious.
Well, it's sort of our job.
Yeah, that's fair. But our club is a place where you can come to relax. You don't have to be on Scourge business here.
That's for our boss to decide. And Bart goes, "Hey, yeah, it is." And he's just still doing his awkward dance as if he doesn't care what Nessa's disgusting look had. But he is just sort of still living his best life, and he just acknowledges that this whole interaction is happening.
Frickin' Bart.
With your 3 successes on your wits and awareness there, Matthew, you get about halfway around the VIP room. And right before you throw this next one onto this next booth, she's like, "I'm here." A voice comes out of the abyss.
Neat.
And as she speaks, she sort of shows from her invisibility. Oh, perfect timing. Oh, this could not be any better. Out of invisibility, you can see with a stake in one hand and a knife in another, you recognize Angela Wyatt.
You.
Who are you talking to?
Not you, Dimitri. You're busy banging at a door currently.
I was like, wait, do I need to be doing something?
Not yet, but you will be here shortly.
Gotcha.
So, he takes a minute, closes the bucket, sets it down, and sits down. So the good news is, even if there are cameras up here, if they're pointing at me, they're having a hard time right now. The other good news is, this is not the first time I've talked about you tonight.
Well, I assume
There's a fellow downstairs on a leash who will pay well for me to get you to a safe place, which I'm going to guess is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of Jonathan Fairchild's bar.
Oh, Fairfield. Yeah, it's a good step in the right direction. And did that dog happen to say anything else?
Well, he said he'd pay me more if I got him out too, but he is presently on a leash, and I am not a member of PETA.
She chuckles.
Now, the other important question, of course, is I have been promised payment from a guy who's on a leash, and let's be honest, doesn't have what we in the legal community would call long-term fiscal prospects.
What are you suggesting?
That if I provide a taxi service, the rider helps cover the fare.
Should be doable. Now, what am I... My concern is that I do know that there is a hunt for me going currently. And what is to believe that once I get into this vehicle that you don't just tear me apart right there and then.
Not a damn thing. Other than, are you gonna make it worth my while to do otherwise?
I, while the dog is still alive, I can't give a whole lot as it's not my area to provide.
Okay. So deal number one, and this is gonna go a long way around, so just go with me for a minute. In exchange for getting you to Fairfield's bar, I would like a life boon. Now, the good news is you're going to get to cash this in immediately and owe me nothing, because Jonathan Fairfield, Rhodes Scholar that he is, thinks that I'm Baron Victor Temple. I did not disabuse him of this notion because it ended up helping us spring you and the Baron from your previous environs.
Mm. Well, thank you ahead of time for that.
So that's deal one. Deal two would be, I heard word earlier this evening that there's an Elysium coming where like everybody's invited.
That's what I heard.
So probably by then, we could determine whether or not it would be of more value to the person who's not on a leash to reclaim their lost dog or not.
Elysium would be the only place that I would be safe.
And then, depending on the decisions you've made, we can make new and exciting deals. If need be, we can, if some animals had its day, sometimes you just have to put it down.
As much as I don't enjoy my dog being put down, we got to do what we must to survive. It is what we do as anarchs.
Well, we'll get a report from the vet and see how much we can do some cost benefit analysis on that, I think. Okay. So I know you're here. No one else knows you're here. You hang out just in case. When you go invisible again, I'm going to sprinkle some salt next to her on the seat. this way. He finishes off salting all the locations so he doesn't leave a breadcrumb trail right to her.
Mm-hmm.
And closes up the bucket and says, "All right, you hang out, and we'll figure out how to get you out of here. We got about another hour left in this shindig, um, but I guess stay tuned to stay tuned."
Not like I have a
Oh,
whole
and
lot of.
here's my card.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Incidentally, if you call, you're going to get my assistant. I didn't tell the chauffeurs that, but just so we're clear, that won't reach me directly.
Good to know. And she go ahead and sort of pocket it in her shirt, and you can see that she is wearing the exact same stuff that you guys took her out in. It looks like she has not had a whole lot of time to do anything. Even looks like even mend. Um,
I got one idea. So, based on her picture before, it's like, do you have a hat or anything you can cover up your hair with?
no,
Or
I mean I have a hood.
do we have a hat or anything you can cover up your hair with? As I go looking for cloth napkins
Mm-hmm.
up here on this level.
Yep, there's definitely some napkins that could be put into place.
I will drop those to her. I will take off my J.C. Penney suit coat jacket and undo my tie and leave those there and go, maybe make yourself look not like the anarch that everyone's going to be hunting. And I'll be back in a bit.
Okay, and she gets to work.
And I'll go downstairs.
Dimitri, as after you had your wonderful dance with Nessa, she grabbed you by the hand and asked that you follow her as you guys headed down towards the office section of where you guys were at. And she, please, I am interested to see what you were able to find out at your how do we want to say this breakout of what the Inquisition may have.
Anything you want. I tell you whatever you want to know.
She smiles and gives you just a little pinch on the cheek. I would like to know what's in your library. If you could open it for me, please.
Oh, this is a problem because I don't read.
Oh, then you wouldn't mind opening this locked door here.
Oh, this is not my place. It is not for me to give. I'm sorry.
I think you might be. I think you might be misunderstanding what I'm asking you. And she sort of commands you to kick the door down. Please go ahead and roll. Let's see here. Intelligence plus resolve for me, please.
Okay. And what is this for? I'm sorry.
This is for mesmerize. As she is
Oh, she's mesmerizing
telling
me too.
you to do something.
Is this part of the enchantment?
It is a different. So the entrancement just gives her extra dice for like persuasion and stuff like that. And obviously it makes you very, very into her and make her a little bit more perceptible.
So 2 successes on that.
2 successes. And let's see here. I need ooh. She will use a willpower to reroll 3. And get 1. Would you like to use a willpower and reroll any?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I'll use a little willpower action. Woohoo! Ooh.
Woo!
So I can say 4 successes.
4 successes. You can definitely, let's see, with mesmerize. You can definitely, you still feel that charm that she has towards her, but with the success of your willpower, you can feel her very strong suggestion fall to the side as can definitely tell that you were being dominated for that moment to do something. And so she just tells you to kick the door in. Yeah, you can now either fully resist it or go along with the ruse if you would like.
Okay, so I did have a question.
Yes.
So as part of her power, if she's asking me to violate any of my tenets, does that allow me a chance to kind of shake off that enchantment or entrancement?
Let's see here. 1 hour plus the margin makes a subject immune for the rest if they succeed after seeding them. So with that being the case, because requests resulting in obvious harm to the subject or their loved ones or that oppose the subject's tenants, and it requires a immediate power contest roll as above. So I need you to go ahead and roll once again composure plus wits versus charisma plus presence. Someone did his homework.
And also, I forgot last time that because of my blood potency, I get an extra die for resisting powers.
Yes, you
So
do.
I forgot to add that in on my first roll. So
Well, that is
I'll add
unfortunate.
that in now. Cannot see. Hold on, my roll 20's being stupid.
You got 2 successes.
Oh,
her
well,
5.
I'm still entranced.
Yes, you are.
Almost like it's not a fair fight.
Right.
I know.
How
Well, I
dare?
did bring a squirt gun to
Right, exactly. To a
to
full
a
fire.
shootout, so you know.
Now,
I'll just kind of lean against the door and be like, "Isn't there something else we could be doing right now? I mean, we're all alone. It's it's me. It's you. Hey, maybe we go kill some people. This sounds like fun."
I really need into that room, and I know how much you enjoy your, for the lack of a better word, free will. I will be more than happy to make a trade for you. You see, you are under this for quite some time, as this is not the first, second, or 80th kindred that I've had the pleasure of having this interaction with. If you do this for me and complete this little task, you are free to go. And you are no longer... I will break the entrancement.
Oh, what are you wanting this behind this door?
Just to look at a book. The prince loaned it to Carter. I just need to find some information in it. I won't even take the book. I just need to look into it.
I need more than just to not like you so much anymore.
What do you need?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think I would find myself in this position.
You can come to find that I'm very helpful when needed to be. And I have very far
Very
reach.
helpful.
Not only here, but overseas.
Is true.
I maybe could put a good word in for the prince, either on your behalf or someone who may be sinking a little bit.
I do not know. How about we go get a drink and we talk this over? We have time, obviously. I mean, I'm not going anywhere unless you want me to.
How about this? You do this now for me. And you get to choose when you cash that in. You can think about it as long as you want. And we can have a conversation later. And it could be yours to pick up at any moment of the boon.
Okay, how long do you need?
Just to find the book. But if you can open it...
No, but how long was the book?
Oh, I just need to search for a particular passage in it. And then I am good to go.
And a boon, yes?
Of course.
And no more of this me like you more than I already do.
The only charm will be natural.
Okay. I pull out the keys and unlock the door.
Perfect. As you open the door, you see in a chair Drake's body.
Oh,
propped up.
Can you wait right here for one moment? I slip inside and shut the door. Is there a closet?
Is there a closet in your library, Carter?
Yeah, it's probably full of books, but it's in there.
So you'll just hear like this scuffling around and like sounds like furniture being drug across the floor and a door opening. Sound of a crash and a bunch of books falling and the door slamming shut. And I open the door. Please. Come inside.
Perfect. Carter, did you put the book somewhere in particular inside of your library after you put Drake in here?
I mean, so that book would have been in whatever the absolute safest place I have is.
Okay.
We haven't had a ton of time, so I mean, I think probably locked in the library, filed somewhere on the shelves is as safe as I could make it.
Okay. Immediately you see Nessa sort of begin to scan through the shelves.
You are so dead, Dimitri.
Did she drop the entrancement? Or is it still there?
It's currently still... It's as of right now, it's actually sort of hard to feel. Because with the thing that's sort of annoying with the entrancement is it feels very, very natural. Like, it feels like a very just natural pull that you have. Like, you didn't even know that you were under entrancement until she literally said, "I will drop it." So it's hard to tell one way or another whether it's fully dropped or not.
I'm gonna kind of linger in the doorway, just kind of keeping an eye out.
Yep. As this goes on for a little bit, she, oh, I believe I have it. And you see her carrying a very familiar large tome. That's just sort of, she puts on one of the reading tables and begins to open it, and like almost like she's digging through the pages, but she knows exactly where she's going in the book. It's sort of digging through before throwing the whole book open, and begins to look on the page and continues to go down. I don't mean to alarm you as she's sort of continuing to go through different pages. Did you happen to look and see if a lot of times these inquisitions, as I've found through research, have some sort of explosive inside of them that's planted as a failsafe? Have you had the chance to dig through and make sure that that's not there? I mean, by the looks of it, he already is. And she looks him up and down, dead for whatever reason.
Oh no,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I chucked him in the
that's
closet
right. That's
and shut
right.
the door.
That's right. The prince made a mention of a pet. If you have him, great. If not, also even better, in my opinion, because less Inquisition people around, less issues.
That's the way I feel.
And you see that she pulls out a small pad of paper and begins to write something down.
I'm gonna see like page numbers or anything that I can use to kind of discern kind of where she's at in the book.
Yeah. Looks like it's on page 250, whatever it's written on it. You can't. It's just a bunch of diagrams, on it. But,
Right. Just important to tell, Carter later.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And she sort of digs through, and she, Dimitri, is there anything
Yes.
that you want to tell me that you may be hiding from us?
It is very interesting that you choose to ask me this question. I have been holding this in for entirely too long. And it is an amazing opportunity to finally have the chance to tell someone. I love My Little Pony.
She looks over.
Gosh, that feels good. That feels so good. Oh, to have this out. Oh, you do not know what it is like to live with this.
She looks you straight in the eye as you are making this BS claim.
No.
Or maybe
that
that'd
wasn't
be true.
BS. He's a brony.
I
He's a
forgot.
full-on brony.
I forgot that was actually something that was discussed. No, as what she believes is just you being Dimitri, because obviously someone of Dimitri's stature, there's no way. But she looks over. I need you to trash this room in this whole area. And she's going to go ahead and try to mesmerize you again, but she will use rationalize, which means that if you do fall underneath this dominate power. The vampire's victim now believes that anything they do is under the influence that was as a result of their own free will, and defend their own actions on how they do it, no, however how absurd it is.
Okay.
So she will go ahead, and I need you to roll once again. Intelligence plus resolve. Holy shit. 7 successes. Dimitri, you're actually insane. She will burn a willpower, I guess. That's actually an insane roll, Dimitri. I love and hate that.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
Love and hate it. As you stop and are laughing about the admission, like your admission of how much you love My Little Pony, she asks you to trash the sapphire floor. Just throw stuff around. Doesn't have to be physical damage. But please, 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 trash it. Oh, and you had to kick open that door to get in. As you begin to fling stuff around, and just make a mess of it. And obviously, you stay away from most of the library. The bigger mess that's out in the sort of the connecting hall. As you're sort of throwing stuff around, you head back into the library and put your foot into the door that just sort of kicks it open, and begin to throw stuff around a little bit in the library when you hear Nessa continue to leave, and you're sort of tossing stuff around. Shortly after, you hear the sound of Eva going, "What the fuck?" And almost as if her speaking breaks the entrancement, and you stop. And for some reason, every bone of your body begins to chase this invisible sound of Eva, as you're just going and chasing, and you can hear her heels begin to run up the stairs, and you begin to just start wailing on the door. And as you're mid wailing on the door, you hear her take a deep breath on the other side of it, and then calmly walk towards the rest of the crowd. As you sort of bang on the door a couple times, you come back to realization, as if like something just clicked in your brain, and you feel every sort of hold that was on you fully, truly break, as you are locked behind this sort of security door that keeps your guests away from everywhere, that keeps the employees only section and the haven portion of the Grove away. Obviously, you do have a key now that you're in the right mind. And this is where we're sort of all sort of beginning to wrap up. Eva, after just witnessing everything downstairs, you make your way to Carter in the middle of the dance floor, who's Carter's sort of dancing next to Bart, doing this awkward shuffle, as well as the two Scourge that you didn't see the entire party, but you must have just missed them somewhere or another, as they're all sort of dancing by Bart, who's doing his little, with his large mouth agape.
Carter, can you stop dancing for a second and can we go talk over here?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
Ah, Eva's a buzzkill. I knew it. As Bart sort of continues to turn around and start dancing with the back turn, he's just sort of laughing and chuckling.
You're so smart.
As you begin to go to your separate corner, at this time, Matthew, you've met with Miss Wyatt up there, who is currently in the process of making herself not look visible or not look like herself, and you can sort of see Eva and Carter sort of dancing and walking towards, sort of separating themselves from the rest of the kindred. If you would like to make your way towards the rest of them as well, or sort of keep your distance.
I will definitely approach them. I will have rolled up my sleeves and loosened my tie, like I've been doing something that required me to cool down a little. I don't know.
The three of you have just been reunited.
What's wrong? Where's Dimitri?
He's in the basement. I locked him down there. He's going crazy. Matt, what are you up to? You're like you look like you've been sweating.
Oh,
Wait, my basement?
Your basement? Our basement?
Yeah, like my part, like the library part of the basement, or like the peon part of the basement.
Peon. Jeez.
You might not want to know right now.
What?
There's
I learned so much about you every time you open your mouth. It's really magical.
How Tremere of you.
Where Drake was, Drake's room. The peons, not you guys. The servant people.
Smooth.
You might have been in that area, but we might want to talk about all of that after the party. Make sure nobody's around after too. But don't go downstairs, because who knows what kind of state Dimitri will be in. He chased me up the stairs.
He chased you?
What?
Yeah, I didn't want to die by him, so I just shut him in the
Whoa,
basement.
he was gonna kill you?
I didn't know. I didn't want to risk it. Would you risk it? No. He's a big guy. No, I don't want to do that.
You could take him.
He had red
I
eyes.
couldn't
I'm
take
not
him.
going up against something like that.
Okay, so you locked our buddy in the basement, and the part
Yeah, I
that you
hope-
don't want to tell me about because he was
Okay.
violent and angry.
Your library looked fine. It wasn't that bad. It was the hallway that was probably the worst of it. Oh, and you're going to need to fix your door.
Oh shit.
I don't know why he didn't have a key on him. It looked like you broke into it.
Like in, not out, right? Nothing broke out of the library.
I didn't check behind the door for a footprint. I guess I could do. I don't know. I could have done that. I didn't think about that.
It's sorry. It was yeah. It's a busy time. Okay, so we're
I
just gonna
did
leave
see,
Dimitri in the basement until the party's
yes.
over.
Yes, and then I'll tell you everything that I saw.
Is
I
the
hope
party
you're not
almost
sad
over?
about your.
You have about a solid hour and 20 minutes before
Oh my god!
3 o'clock pulls around.
It's gonna tick by real slow.
It's gonna go real slow.
Well,
All right.
if you're looking for a way to waste time, I might have an option. But
What?
We can go up to the VIP room. You won't see anybody there.
Shh. We don't have conversations while there's Nosferatu in the house or in the glove box.
So
There's
I'm just saying.
There's no conversations.
No. And there will be no conversations in the VIP room either.
I feel like you're not getting what I'm saying.
It's a distinct possibility. But as long as we're here, why don't we focus on one thing at a time? Is Dimitri in danger or a danger to anyone else?
He's by himself. I think he'll be okay. As long as nobody's
Wait,
going downstairs right now.
Isn't your goober down there?
Yeah, my peon. Like we established, the peons are also down there.
They're not in danger?
No, they
No, he's probably
locked
fine.
themselves into a room.
Like the one that, like the locked door that he kicked open.
No, a different one.
But I'm just saying. Okay, let me back
I'm
up.
trying not to alarm Carter here, so can you just
Okay,
hold back a little bit?
I'm gonna bust that.
I'm hanging on
wide
by a
open
thread,
for you.
man.
I'm gonna bust that wide open for you. I'm sorry, because let's put together an itinerary of events. Nessa and Dimitri went downstairs. Nessa came back alone. At some time in that time frame, Dimitri kicked open doors and made a mess of things.
I put my hand over his mouth and look around for Nosferatu.
Go ahead and roll wits plus awareness. Unless you're looking with your specialize on wits plus aspects.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I specialize. I assume I would see them if it was.
Yeah, for sure.
Look with your special eyes.
Dimitri, once you've calmed down, you do have the door or key to this door if you would like to remove yourself from the basement.
Do I know that my actions were not of my own free will?
Roll wits plus awareness.
Hold on, I gotta find my character sheet. It's hidden in there somewhere.
That's illegal.
Oh, I had to refresh roll 20, so it closed it.
I feel you.
How dare it?
How dare it? Would you like to use any willpower, Carter? To look with your
When
special
the
eyes?
question is, are there invisible Nosferatu? The answer to that is always yes.
Good to know. I will keep that in
I
my...
have been burned more than once.
I will put in the get mode.
And you will continue to be burned. So.
One success.
One success.
Yeah.
No, you honestly do believe that you were looking for something in particular, and that you needed to figure out what else was being hidden. You found a member of the Inquisition, Drake, dead, that no one told you about. What else was being hidden inside of this library? What else is being hidden in this basement? I will say you will earn a stain as you did sort of share the secrets of the Grove with someone who is not a member of the Grove. Even if it wasn't by your own free will, a secret was shared.
But I remember all the conversations we had, right?
Yeah, 100%.
My memory isn't like wiped.
Correct. Yo, she did
She did not leave with the book, correct?
Nope. Book is on the reading.
Okay.
Was on the left on the reading table. She literally said exactly what she wanted. She wanted to open it, read it. She wrote something down on it from it, put it back into her jacket, and then left after she told you to trash the place.
I'll go back downstairs.
Okay.
And clean up.
Okay. Go back down, clean up, make everything look presentable. Put the book back. You did see exactly where she pulled the book from, unless you want to keep it on the table for any reason.
Did she leave it open on that page?
She did.
Yes, I'll leave it there.
Okay. Drake, what do you do with him? Do you leave him in the secret closet? Or do you
No,
put him back in the
back
chair?
in the chair where he was.
You go ahead and place him into the chair, back to where he was. Anything else you'd like to do before moving to a different member of the
I'll just kind of freshen myself up and then go back upstairs and let myself out.
Okay. As you are sort of cleaning up, Hunter pokes his head out. Everything okay in here? I heard a lot of tossing. I knew the music was going on. I just didn't know other people were going to be down here. Are you okay, Dimitri?
Oh yes, Hunter. Thank you for asking. I am very good. It's just minor disagreement, I think. You see, I pointed at the dead body. This should have been mine.
Look, I'm very new to this whole thing, and Eva and I are working through that. And I apologize if that is on her behalf.
No. I don't believe so. But maybe now that you mention it,
I'm
she
just
was down here.
I'm just gonna go. I apologize. If you need anything, Dimitri, I'm
Okay.
around.
Hey, come here,
Yes.
close. Get real close.
He
I pull him real
hesitates.
close, I say,
He hesitates to do so, but
I
listens.
pull out $100 bill and I slip it in his front shirt pocket. Okay, when everything's over, I need you to go to like 24-hour electronics store, get like 4 like My Little Pony DVDs, okay? Don't ask.
I won't because I don't
Don't
even want to know.
ask. Just go.
No.
Just go.
You see him go ahead and begin to head back into his room and change out of his night attire to something that he can be seen out in public in. But as you guys are sort of looking around the room and figuring out if there are any sort of super secret glove compartment Nosferatu, you look around and you do not see any that are hidden. You can see the 2 Nosferatu that you are aware of Bart and Augustin, are enjoying themselves. When you look around, you don't see anyone else using any sort of obfuscate power or any sort of other ways of hiding themselves.
Okay, I think we can continue our conversation.
Roughly about
But-
this time.
Last time I said that, we could not, and there was one I didn't see. So
Right about this time, you guys do see a very, once again, put together Dimitri that sort of reemerges from that portion of the VIP, or not the VIP section, excuse me, from your guys' Haven section of the building from downstairs. Eva, you saw him earlier, and his sort of sleeves were pulled up a little bit, and it looks like he was tearing through a bunch of stuff before whatever happened to him. But you see, once again, he is very well put together, well dressed, presentable.
He looks fine. What?
I'm gonna put my hand on like my stake behind my dress.
Okay.
Are you okay, Dimitri?
Yeah, I'm good. It's good.
Do you remember anything that happened?
Yeah.
What? You're just gonna casually act like you didn't chase me up the stairs?
I thought we were playing.
But like tag?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a game like that, but okay.
I'm a good time kind of guy. This is, we frolic, we play, we have fun,
You run up like on all fours. That's playing and running and having fun.
Oh, yeah.
I think we need to discuss this further some other time, but I can't deal with this right now.
Good.
It's
I need to
okay.
go
It's
get-
so good. It's good.
I can go get the Baron's leash. We can make a party of it.
Try to put
No.
a leash on me and I'll rip your arms out of their sockets.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go that far.
It's intense.
As the evening continues, the music sort of begins to subside for a little bit before you guys. I mean, like I said, there's roughly, besides including all of you, about 19 kindred in this one. So it's like it's a very a large open area. You can definitely see people all there. Everyone is accounted for, but you do see Bart get called over and waved over by the prince. They have a very short discussion, and the Bart walks over to one of the scourges, who walks towards a shadow and just disappears. The prince will look over towards you, Dimitri, and ask for you to. But he goes like this a little bit.
I'll look at the guy and give him the cut the music signal.
The music sort of stops abruptly. I do apologize, but there has been a concern that has been brought up by the Primogen that myself and a few of us have to go and investigate and verify. Please do not take this as any sort of disrespect to you and your grand opening. It has been wonderful, and I could not appreciate this wonderful time that every one of you have put together into welcoming us into your abode. So please do not take it that way. And if it does come off that way, I do apologize sincerely, beyond myself as Prince, but as a fellow member of the Ivory Tower. But business is business, and I must get going. Sheldon and Augustine, please, with me, everyone else, continue to enjoy the party as long as our great and wonderful host is allowed for the remainder of the evening. But we must be going. And the three of them begin to head towards the exit, towards the front door.
Do Jordan?
I'm gonna.
Do Jordan and the dog go?
They do not. They sort of stay by themselves off on the side where she's been sitting for the last about 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, please.
While the prince was talking, I'm definitely studying Nessa's response, looking at her body language, trying to kind of gauge how she's. Because in a way, it almost seems like she's a little bit being slighted because he's calling Augustine and Sheldon, but not her, and he said the Primogen. So I'm just kind of observing her.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll wits plus insight for me, please.
Dang it, hit the wrong button.
Unbelievable. I blame roll 20.
I know.
I don't blame you.
Freaking.
Poor Dimitri's been
Just
through
call
enough.
me a noob, dude. Just call me a noob.
No,
Get it over with.
Dimitri's just fighting with his worst devils tonight. I don't blame for the buttons. Woo!
4 successes.
While she is one of the ones that was left out, you could definitely tell she sort of does a very minor, and if you weren't actively looking for it, you probably would have missed it. But she does sort of roll her eyes and sort of disregards as soon as the prince finishes discussing the Primogen and then asks for those two to leave. She sort of just shrugs her eyes and looks towards Caleb, who is also still there, and so just eyes and rolls, and then continues to go back to slowly dancing. But you see them begin to start to, even though the music's cut, they sort of begin to work towards each other and slowly dance as if there's music playing in their heads, but the rest of the room doesn't sort of hear it.
Okay, I'll give the DJ Fat Spins the signal to turn the music back up since the Prince's announcement is over.
Mm-hmm. Music picks right back up, and they go from their waltz into more of a modern dancing. And with that being said, that is where we go ahead and wrap up for tonight's session. We will pick up next week where we left off, and we will go ahead and figure out if Dimitri is humanity dips a little bit with the housekeeping at the beginning. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Really appreciate it. Dimitri, thank you so much for showing up at the pinnacle of the shenanigans. I could not have written a better time for you to show back up. And to the rest of everyone else, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Really do appreciate it. This is episode 12 of Indy by Night in our second chapter. So it is very, very good so far, and we're learning a lot about the Primogen and as well as what they're capable of. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday for our next episode of Indy by Night. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.